Are you looking for the best bread maker? In this video we will find some of the 7 best bread makers on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1, Zojirushi Home Bakery Virtuoso Plus Breadmaker. Anyone who takes home baking seriously will appreciate all the features and options packed into this Zojirushi Breadmaker, and its performance in lab and home tests made it our best overall pick. It has 15 different pre-programmed courses including a wide variety of bread, each with the choice of light, medium, or dark crust, but you can also create your own custom programs. This machine has 2 kneading paddles to make sure no bits of flour are left unmixed, and a 13-hour delay timer so you can wake up to hot, fresh bread for breakfast. A large window even lets you check the progress of your bread as it bakes. Our home tester tried 3 basic bread recipes with this model, and they all turned out perfectly. Even when she strayed from recipes, the end result was consistent. I started adding different flours, changing the amount of butter, and even mixing the ingredients in the wrong order to see what might happen. Each time, the finished loaf emerged looking good, and with a nice texture as well, she reported. Our lab tests had the same findings, cementing our decision to recommend this as the best overall machine. On all of the test loaves, the Virtuoso produced great aeration on the interior and tasty bread with a crisp crust, a feature that's hard to achieve since machines bake at a cooler temperature than ovens. The lab also appreciated that the Virtuoso Plus bakes loaves with a domed top, shaped more like a real loaf than the flat ones other models put out. When we made banana bread, we got great color, even doneness, and perfect texture. Other features also stood out, from the unobtrusive alerts to the countdown timer to the easy-to-clean non-stick loaf pan. This is a high-end machine with a price to match, though, so it might not be the best option for casual bakers or novices who aren't sure how much use they'll get out of a bread maker. Dimensions: 18 by 10.5 by 12.875 inches, weight, 24 pounds, loaf size, 2 pounds, power, 700 watts. Number 2. Hamilton Beach Digital Bread Maker. The Hamilton Beach Home Baker might be somewhat less heavy-duty than more expensive machines, but our lab found that it delivered delicious bread with that crisp crust and chewy texture that scream home-baked. It has built-in settings for lots of different types of breads, as well as cakes and jams, and it can make either a 2-pound or 1.5-pound loaf using the same pan and paddle. Advanced bakers might be disappointed, however, as its 12 settings don't include any custom programmable options. The home baker performed quite well in our lab tests, producing a loaf of fluffy sandwich-style white bread and an evenly baked banana bread using the recipes in the manual. All of the included recipes have variations for both loaf sizes, which is really helpful, though the banana bread, cornbread, and cake recipes all call for boxed mixes, an odd choice that kind of defeats the purpose of the bread machine. The lab didn't have much trouble cleaning the pan and paddle, though the machine did leave some flour behind and there was some stickiness with the banana bread, both of which required an hour-long soak to loosen up. Dimensions: 10.4 by 14.1 by 12.2 inches, weight, 11.9 pounds, loaf size, 1.5 or 2 pounds, power, 600 watts. Number 3. Zojirushi BB Hack 10 Home Bakery Mini Bread Maker. Zojirushi BB Hack 10 Home Bakery Mini Bread Maker review great for students, singles, couples, or anybody who only needs a sandwich or 2 worth of bread at a time. This slim machine produces 1-pound loaves and can fit in smaller spaces, yet it still has many of the features you'd find in top-quality full-size machines. Settings include basic bread, regular or firm, soft bread, French bread, bread dough, cookie, pasta dough, cake, jam, and quick baking. The crust can be set for regular or light, and the quick baking setting produces a loaf of bread in less than 2 hours. Our lab loved how easy this machine was to use and found its results up to par with most of the full-size units they tested. Our home tester noted that the kneading blade tends to get stuck in the bottom of the bread, making removing it from the machine a little tricky. But the lab did not have the same problem. The home bakery mini really is quite compact, and there's even a carrying handle for taking bread on the go. And testers also called out just how silent its operation is. If you want to make bread in the middle of the night without waking your roommates or family, this is the machine for you. Dimensions: 8.5 by 11.3 by 12.3 inches. Weight: 12 pounds. Loaf size: 1 pound. Power: 450 watts. Number 4. Cuisinart CBK 110 Compact Automatic Bread Maker. This machine produces full-size loaves but takes up less counter real estate than full-size bread machines. Perfect for small kitchens, or counters crowded with gadgets. It has a space-saving design and modern stainless steel look that weighs in at just over 10 pounds. So it's even easy to take on and off the counter if you want to store it elsewhere. The Cuisinart Compact features 12 cooking programs and 3 crust shades: light, medium, dark, with options including gluten-free bread, jams, sauces, cake, and more. It claims to accommodate up to a 2-pound loaf, though the lab found that largest dough batches rose into the lid of the machine and then deflated. We'd recommend sticking to 1.5-pound recipes. Lab testers found a lot to love with this bread maker. First, it was very easy to use with an intuitive and clear control panel. White bread came out evenly browned and bubbly inside, and the banana bread was soft and golden brown, with no sticking at all to the pan. One downside of the Cuisinart's small size is that there's not room for insulation. The outside of the unit got very hot during baking. Dimensions: 10.3 by 13.3 by 11.3 inches. Weight: 10.8 pounds. Loaf size: 1.5, or 2 pounds. Power: 550 watts. Number 5. Breadman 2-pound Professional Bread Maker. Breadman 2-pound Professional Bread Maker Review. This Breadman bread maker has 14 baking functions, with 3 different crust settings and 3 loaf sizes, for a whole lot of different options. There's also a 15-hour delayed start timer and a 1-hour keep warm option after baking, and the machine comes with a spiral-bound manual cookbook with more than 80 recipes. Our home tester found the machine's looks unassuming and footprint sizable, but said it's definitely worth the counter space. Baking up a picturesque loaf of white bread took 3 hours on the regular setting or 1 hour, 45 minutes on the rapid one. Both loaves came out with an airy interior, with a longer time allowing for more of a rise and a more even bake. Using the largest, 2-pound setting, our lab testers got a super soft, super delicious loaf that tasted great but couldn't maintain structural integrity in a sandwich. Banana bread came out absolutely beautifully, though the included recipe has you mix the batter in a separate bowl before pouring into the machine, which kind of defeats the purpose of the bread machine. Number 6. Pohl Schmitt 14-inch-1 stainless steel bread maker machine. Gluten is a protein that not only helps proofing dough hold on to bubbles of gas given off by the yeast but also hardens upon baking so the bread can take its final shape. That's why making gluten-free bread can be very tricky. It's tough to achieve a light, fluffy texture. Various bread machines have programs specifically for making gluten-free loaves, but the one that did the best job in our lab testing was the Pohl Schmitt. Its gluten-free bread really impressed our testers, with a nice texture and lovely brown color, baked evenly throughout. Unfortunately, the machine didn't do such a great job with breads that do contain gluten. When using it for whole wheat, white, and banana breads, it produced flat, dense loaves that were either underbaked or baked unevenly. Some of those kinks might be solved by adjusting settings. It offers 14 cooking programs, 3 levels of crust browning, 3 loaf sizes, and a mix-in dispenser. But testers also found the controls rather unintuitive and needed to consult the manual a lot. All that aside, It was one of the quietest machines we tested, and if you're in a gluten-free household it might be an excellent choice. Dimensions: 10 by 14 by 12.5 inches, weight, 11.9 pounds, loaf size, 1.4, or 2.2 pounds, power, 650 watts.